Hello friends, this video on fractions part 9 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. So let us now learn about another concept of fractions, that is equivalent fractions. Now what do we mean by equivalent? It means that different fractions representing the same number. So even though the two fractions would be two different fractions, but they would represent the same number. So they are called equivalent fractions. So let us look at an example to understand this better. So let's say that there is this pizza and there is this boy. Let's say that his name is, let's say, Sonu. So this is Sonu and this is a pizza. So what does Sonu do? He is hungry and he wants to eat something. So he cuts this pizza into 8 equal halves. So into 8 equal slices, and then he eats 2 slices out of that. So what fraction of the pizza did he eat? 2 slices out of 8 slices. So 2 by 8. So 2/8 of the pizza is eaten by Sonu. Now let's say there is another friend of Sonu. Let's call him maybe Rohit. And Rohit is also hungry and he also has a pizza, but he divides the pizza into 4 equal halves. And then he ate one slice out of these 4 slices. So what fraction of pizza did Rohit eat? He ate 1/4 of the pizza. Now if you compare, if you look at 1 by 4 and 2 by 8, these are two different fractions, definitely, because these are made up of two different numbers. But when you actually look at them, they both are equivalent fractions. That's because this is 1 by 4 and this 2 by 8. If you divide the numerator and the denominator by 2, because if you divide both the numerator and the denominator by the same number, the total value of the fraction remains the same. It is like, let's say that you deposited 10 rupees in your account and you have withdrawn 10 rupees from your account. So the net balance remained the same because you added something again, then you subtracted something. So in this case also the same thing. If you divide something from the numerator, the value will change. But if you divide something from the denominator also, then the value gets balanced out. So it remains the same. So what happens? 2 divided by 2 is 1. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So 1 by 4. So 2 by 8 also is basically 1 by 4. So that means we can say that 1 by 4 and 2 by 8 are two different fractions, but they represent the same number, that is 1 by 4. So these are equivalent fractions. So let us look at more examples of equivalent fractions. So let's look at some examples. For example, 3 by 9 and 7 by 21. These are also equivalent fractions because what is 3 by 9? 3 by 9 is actually 1 by 3 because 3 3s are 9. Similarly, this is 7 3s are 21. So this is also 1 by 3. So 3 by 9 and 7 by 21 are also equivalent fractions. Similarly, 10 by 20 and 4 by 8. So 10 by 20, this also if you divide by 10, that is you divide both the numerator and the denominator by 10. So what do you get? 1 by 2. Similarly, in this case also if you divide the numerator and the denominator by 4, you get 1 by 2. So therefore 10 by 20 and 4 by 8 are also equivalent fractions. How am I cancelling? Are you able to understand that? That's because it's the same thing, like dividing the numerator and the denominator by the HCF of the numerator and denominator. So you find out the HCF of 10 and 20 and then divide both numerator and denominator by the HCF. So that means you would get this number. Now the question is, how do we make equivalent fractions? Let's say that you have been given a fraction 1 by 2 and you have to make equivalent fractions of 1 by 2. Now can you tell me how many equivalent fractions exist for 1 by 2? Actually there are many. There are infinite equivalent fractions existing for 1 by 2. So let us see how do we make equivalent fractions. So in order to make equivalent fractions, we have to do a very simple thing, that is we multiply the numerator and the denominator by the same whole number, same number. Let's say we multiply the numerator and denominator by 2. So what do we get? 2 by 4. So 2 by 4 is an equivalent fraction of 1 by 2. Now let's say that 1 by 2 is multiplied by 3, both numerator and denominator. So you get 3 by 6. Similarly, 1 by 2 multiplied by 4. So you get 4 by 8. 1 by 2 multiplied by 5. So you get 5 by 10. And so on. So this can continue for till infinity. That's because you have whole numbers extending till infinity. But these fractions which you are getting, 2 by 4, 3 by 6, 4 by 8, 5 by 10, these are all equivalent fractions. And these are all equivalent to 1 by 2. So in this fashion, we can make equivalent fractions of a given fraction. Now, sometimes it might happen that you are given bigger numbers in the fraction. For example, if you are being asked to make equivalent fractions of, let's say, 56 divided by 112. So you have to make equivalent fractions of this. Now in this case, if you multiply the numerator and denominator by 2, 3, 4, 5 or so on, your calculations will gradually become tedious. So one good option is also to divide the numerator and the denominator by the same number. So for example, you divided the numerator and denominator by 2. So the numerator becomes 28 and the denominator is 56. Similarly, you divide the numerator and the denominator you have to divide it by such a number which will divide both the numerator and the denominator. That means that number should be a factor of both 56 and 112. So let's say we divide it by 4. So it becomes 14 by 18. So 28 by 56, 14 by 18. These are also equivalent fractions of 56 by 112. But the easier option is to multiply the numerator and the denominator by the same whole number.
Thank you. Please visit examfear.com for free quality education. You can learn with a simple 4-step learning process wherein you can watch video lessons, you can ask your questions, you can refer notes, and you can take a free online test. We have content for class 6 to 12 on physics, chemistry, mathematics, and biology along with practical videos. So please subscribe to our channel for daily updates. Thank you.